Jussie looks like he might be going to prison for a little while here. Special Prosecutor Dan Webb, following the verdict, said, well, that Jussie did exactly what prosecutors said he did, which is true.
During my closing argument, I told the jury that I thought the evidence was overwhelming, that in fact Mr. Smollett had faked a hate crime and then lied to the police about it, and then compounded his crimes by lying to the jury during the course of this trial and insulting their intelligence. That's what I told the jury in my closing argument. With the resounding verdict we just received from this jury after one day of deliberations, in which they found Mr. Smollett guilty of virtually all charges of doing exactly what we said he did, of reporting a fake crime to the Chicago Police Department as a real crime. That verdict was a resounding message by the jury that, in fact, Mr. Smollett did exactly what we said he did.
Exactly what they said he did. It was quite obvious. I mean, this was an overwhelming case. It's pretty remarkable that Jussie and his defense team would even take it to trial, except it's quite clear that they were hoping for some form of jury nullification here. Essentially, someone on that jury, for reasons of identity politics, or maybe because they like empire so much, or they just felt sorry for Jussie, whatever it may be, that they would ignore their duty and ignore the law and let him get away with this, which did not happen. But his defense team, of course, is telling everybody after this verdict came out yesterday evening that they are confident about a win on appeal. Sure.
We're obviously very disappointed. We obviously respectfully disagree with the jury's verdict. The verdict is inconsistent. You cannot say Jussie is lying and Jussie is not lying for the same exact incidents. So we feel 100% confident that this case will be won on appeal. Unfortunately, that's not the route we wanted, but sometimes that's the route that you have to take to win, especially a case where we remain 100% confident in our client's innocence.
I mean, it's laughable and shameful at the same time, isn't it? Look, we all knew from the very beginning, or should have known, that Jussie Smollett was making this whole thing up. It made no sense. You go through the facts of this. A bunch of, this is MAGA country yelling Trump supporters finding Jussie Smollett because allegedly his support, or rather his support of Democrat causes and his hatred of Donald Trump was so much. No one who supports Donald Trump, really, in any considerable numbers, even knows who this guy is. I work in the media. I'd never even heard of Jussie Smollett before this whole, which isn't that the whole point, right? Now everyone's heard of him. Now he's quite famous. He's quite well known. So he understood how the dynamics would play out with regard to the attention this would get, but not exactly a staging the crime mastermind, right? Not somebody that really thought this through very well. In fact, even Jen Psaki today said lying to the police is shameful about something like a hate crime.
I would say that we respect the jury's decision. Lying to the police, particularly about something as heinous as a hate crime, is shameful. Instances of that need to be investigated fully, and those found guilty need to be punished. And false accusations divert valuable police resources away from important investigations. They make it harder for real victims to come forward and be believed.
That's actually true. Lying about a hate crime is a terrible thing to do. It does undermine, there are real hate crimes. There is hate in this country, no question about it. There's just not nearly as much hate and racism, and certainly not the frequency of hate crimes the left would like you to believe. And in this case, clearly, Jussie just decided to fabricate one for maximum personal benefit at the expense of the nation that had already turned him into something of a celebrity and a millionaire. Not enough for Jussie. He needed more than that.